You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust I'll rise.
What's up, brownies? On April 29th, 2024, a young 25-year-old nurse, Carlos Collins, lost his life, and I want to begin this video by expressing my sincerest condolences to his mother, Miss Ashla Hudson, and all of his friends and family. The outpouring on social media for this well-loved and liked young man is overwhelming. I'll be covering this case to help get justice for Carlos Collins because I can already see where within the first 48 hours it's already going awry. I'll begin with showing you the news coverage and then come back with more info.
The family says Collins had filed several restraining orders against the alleged suspect.
They said it was heinous up there. There was a lot of blood the way he was killed. Gunshot wounds and an axe was used, they say.
Melanie, 33-year-old Marcus Johnson is wanted for murder and shooting into an occupied dwelling. The attack happened at Tapestry Northridge Apartments on Parkway Drive early this morning. 25-year-old Carlos Collins was found with several gunshot wounds, according to the Hinds County Coroner's Office. Investigators have yet to announce a motive in the attack. JPD tells us that Johnson worked for the department several years ago. He graduated from JPD Academy in April 2013. He worked in the patrol division for just 4 months. In September 2013, he faced some sort of disciplinary action and resigned from the force immediately before his planned termination.
That's my only son. I'm gonna miss it.
Grandma. 25-year-old Carlos Collins was murdered early Tuesday morning, heading back to his apartment after work. They say Collins had multiple restraining orders against Johnson for several months.
Everyone has multiple ring cameras. His friends, they live here too. He's always lurking around, prowling around. You put a ring camera on a vacant apartment watching him. That's like obsession. That's a problem. And I feel like the law should have protected him, and they failed him multiple times.
The family says Collins was taken too early as he was pursuing to further his education in the medical field. Collins took after his mother, Ashla Hudson, in becoming a registered nurse at the Baptist Medical Center.
When he graduated high school, he wanted to go follow in my footsteps. I am an LPN of 18 years, and he was involved in my nursing. He went with me for community services, and he grew in nursing, and I always told him, go and be better than me, and he did.
Hudson says her son was compassionate and loved taking care of the sick. She says he was also a family man and would do anything in his capacity to help them out.
He always wanted us to be okay. He made sure that we had what we needed. He made sure that if it was in his will, he would make sure that his family was taken care of, from the oldest to the youngest.
The family has one thing left to say to the one responsible.
We, the family of Carlos Collins, asking you, Marcus Johnson, turn yourself in, please. Turn yourself in.
Why would you take my uncle? I'm sad. I want him back.
Consider everything in this video to be alleged. Now, having said that, I want to give you some background information and some framework so that you'll understand why I think it's going to take a big push from concerned citizens in order for this young man to get justice. You'll need to understand the location more so than anything to get that. Now, whereas Jackson is known for being high in crime, that's only parts of it. And this young man already had a restraining order against the person who took his life, and the police were already aware of that man's history. Another thing that you think about with Jackson is the brown water crisis, but again, that's only in certain parts. See, Mississippi is a quintessential example of the haves and the have-nots. It's not a lot of gray areas. And the area that he lived in was actually more affluent. These apartments were literally just built a few years ago. And the cheapest rent on the smallest apartment is more than what I pay for a mortgage on a 4-bedroom home in a gated community in an affluent area. Also, he was already successful in his own right in education. He drove a Range Rover. He had a very bright future ahead of him. We have to talk about the real root of the problem here, which is, why did it take the police allegedly 30 minutes to get to him when the police department is less than a mile and a minute away? You see, my core principle is balance equals righteousness, and anything that lacks balance will inevitably lead to chaos. This situation is chaotic, and it is imperative that we support the truth tellers, people who will actually gather information and keep you informed despite whether it's popular or not. I hope that you stay tuned, because this case has many different parts, and I'll have a whole series of videos until we get a resolution.
So you